Welcome to the DLA Podcast, hosted by me, Stephen Large, and sponsored by Ream Print Solutions. So last week we had Big Tim McGarry on, and we wondered how could we top that. Well, we couldn't. So please welcome Matthew McElhinney and Matthew Forsythe.
Thanks for having us,
Thanks,
Stephen. I thought this was going to be Shane Todd.
He's downstairs interviewing more established actors.
Is that what you call them, more established actors?
Yeah. He's downstairs interviewing the more established ones. Unfortunately, you get me. Okay. Guys, for the uncultured swine listening, who might not be familiar with your work, I'll quickly introduce you both, okay? So Matthew McElhinney is a theatre director and actor who received a 5-star review in the British Theatre Guide for his work on Frank Carson, Rebel Without a Pause, as well as directing the 25th anniversary production of A Night in November and most recently Stones in His Pockets.
That's an old one, mate. 100 years ago.
Matthew Forsythe is a stage and television actor who starred in Mary Jones's A Night in November and the lyrics A Christmas Carol, whilst most recently gracing our TV screens as Aidan McAllister in the hit series Blue Lights. However, both are best known for the roles as Davy and Horse in the critically acclaimed stage production Lockdown DLA, which world-renowned theatre critic Robin Elliott awarded 2 bog rolls out of 5. Lads, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
Illustrious introduction. That's an old one. I don't know where you pulled that from.
The internet somewhere, the bowels of
He's
the
more
internet.
busy than that.
Yeah.
Stones was years ago.
I could only afford so many cue cards. We couldn't pay
Well,
for
it
the
just
lad.
so happens I have here. No, I'm joking.
If we could just start off, lads, by getting some info about your journey in the acting. So, Matthew Forsythe, we'll start with you. You are a joiner by trade. So that's a quite unorthodox route. How did it all come about?
I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do when I grew up, and sort of stumbled my way through school. I wasn't bad in school, just got through it. And then at the end of it, my dad says, "You're going to have to do something." And he put me in this course, this joinery MVQ course. And even then, when I was doing it, I was like, "What is this all for? What's this wood for? What do we do with this?" Making all these wood joints and all. Like, I don't have a clue what I'm doing this for. Anyway, as fast forward, stuck at that for many years, and then about 2008, I packed up and then trained at Drama Studio London, which is perfect timing around the crash. So there's no joinery anyway. And went to Drama Studio London, and actually I was more musical theatre, and I hadn't even seen a play until somehow I got into a straight drama degree course. And the first play I went to see was his mum's Night in November.
Right.
And I seen it. That was the first play I seen.
Who did that?
Patrick Keeley.
Okay, yeah.
That was the first play I ever seen, and I hadn't. I was going off to train in straight acting, and that was the first play I seen. And subsequently, I played it. Luckily, a lot of years ago, and then so then. What's been out now? 15 years acting and joinery. Still doing the joinery. Obviously, because I had the pleasure of doing the set for Lockdown DLA, building it as well as.
Yeah, for those who are unaware, not only did Matthew star in the show, he also assembled the set. Helped load the set. Was running back and forward to screw fix.
My spray tan.
Yes.
That's not gonna. Oh dear God.
Yeah. So if you want to know how helpful these two are whenever it comes to the show, so basically Matthew Forsythe, as I said, was running back and forward to screw fix. Actually assembled the set, and whilst all that was going on and the sweat's pissing out of everyone else, Matthew McElhinney staggers out in a kimono, having treated himself to a fucking spray tan.
You've got to get it right. You've got to get it right.
And you going, the budget doesn't stretch to a spray tan, Matthew?
Yeah, he was horrified when he knew he had to pay for it himself.
Wee woman came in with a wee tent and all. Here for Matthew McElhinney.
I'm still waiting on that check.
He came out like a mahogany colour.
I just walked in and said, "What would you like?" I said, "Can I have a Venezuelan all over?"
But going back into your...
You suffer for your art, Stephen, you know.
I know. More than most at the hands of you. But just going back to what you were saying there about going to London then, I mean, how did you even support yourself? I mean,
Well, I suppose that's the first question with that. You know,
Yeah.
with that being an old-fashioned sort of.
Well, as a parent, that's going to be your first,
Yeah,
first concern.
and he
you know.
sort of looks at that sort of old-fashioned blueprint of, well, I got into this drama school, and he's like, well, what money do you make from it? You know, how you going? Well, you addiction and all, I said, right? And you know, he's like,
Yeah.
and so to be fair to him, he never once sort of put a stop to it. He was always very, very supportive, and they were hugely supportive the whole way through, and still are. But I just had to sell all my stuff. I sold my tools, I sold my van, and then when I got there, I was doing like 30 hours a week in a pub, you know, and then doing a 40-hour week at the college, and then I got a dance and drama award as well, so I got supported through the Dance and Drama Award, the DADA Award scheme, and that helped pay my second year fees and stuff. But yeah, it was just trying to make, and then obviously when you leave drama school and you go, no, I'm not a joiner anymore, I'm an actor. So you do this thing of, oh, I don't do tools anymore. And that was the biggest mistake I ever made, because you're stuck in a bar pulling pints.
Yeah.
And then eventually I did get back on the tools and sort of wised up, and there's more money to be made here in the tools. In
More
between
strings you
jobs.
have to your bow, the better. Like,
Yeah. And then able just to put your hand to anything, and as you know, set build as well, which is it's been good.
So, moving on to you, Matthew McElhinney. How did the son of Ian McElhinney and Mary Jones get his big theatre break?
Well, I remember I was studying. I was reading the classics, and I had no chance really, did I, of getting away from it. I did try to get away from it.
I'm only taking the piss, by the way, because I know that if I was in your position, that would really piss me off.
Oh no,
because
I've made peace with it ages ago. I mean, whenever I think there was that incentive in me to not go down that route because of that.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't want to be seen to be good. That's their thing. Let them do that. I play my own furrow. I'll do something different. And I went to Edinburgh University to study earth science. I was actually saw Tim the other night. I was telling him about this, which is basically geology, rocks. But anyway, I wanted to do something academic, and I did about 1.5 years in Edinburgh, and I just went, this is not for me. And then I came back and I auditioned for the Beauty Queen of Leenane, the lyric, and got the part, and then
Of the Beauty Queen?
Of the Beauty Queen of Leenane, yeah. Rave reviews. But that was the part of Ray, which is, I don't know if people know the show, it's a brilliant part, it's very funny. Anyway, I got that, and that was sort of it for me. That's what when I said in my head, like, I think I'd rather do this. And then at the start, I guess there was that thing of, I can remember going to an audition when I was about 20 or 19 or whatever, and I walked in, and I was reading against this older fella, and the director says, okay, what's your name, whatever. And I said, Matthew McElhinney. And he goes, oh, are you a relation? And I looked at the old lad, and I went, fuck, are you a McElhinney as well? And he goes, no, I meant Ian. And I went, oh, that's my dad, yeah. But that's, I mean, I was, I guess, naive about it in that sense. But no, I feel like, no, I mean, we work a lot together. You know, with my mother.
Working all that.
Yeah. And with my mother, her writing as well. I would have the best shorthand with her as well in terms of creating it.
Yeah.
So I think now I'm at the point where it's, you know, I feel like I've established myself in my own right, so it's I don't have an issue with it. But part of a dynasty. Yeah. And as for joinery, no trades, nothing.
No trades, just spray.
Absolutely, just spray tan.
It was so funny that
My dad had back in the day, my dad had this big toolbox. This is not a euphemism. Big toolbox, and this is when my mum and dad first got together, and my mum says, "Oh, that's great. He'll be handy around the house." She opened it up. It was full of stage makeup.
I just passed it on to you.
I just passed it on. That was
You covered me for Night November one time.
What did I?
And you did. You
coverage?
Understudy. Sorry, you're my understudy. There was one night I couldn't do, and you went into the big the big rooms in the Mac.
Aye, but that's because it was
massive. And I had this little corner, and I'd done already about 3 weeks of this run.
No, but I
came in, and this desk was just.
It was like fucking boots.
I can well believe it. I've seen some of it. I've seen some of it.
Yeah, you've got to get it right. You can't go on unprepared.
A quick word from our sponsor, Ream Print Solutions. They're based in Dundonald. They've been at it since 2005 and they do everything. Business cards, flyers, banners. Basically, if it doesn't move, they can print on it. And the big thing, they're quick. Next day turnaround, unlike hangovers in your 40s. They'll even help with design. So if your idea is currently as unhelpful as I want it to look class, they'll sort you out. They're also big into sustainability, eco-winks, responsibly sourced paper, solar panels, so you can feel good about printing 500 flyers that you'll probably hand out to about 12 people. So if you need print done properly, get yourself to Ream Print Solutions. Check out theream.co.uk. We're wrapping up the Having It Large tour at the Courthouse Bangor on Saturday the 9th of May. You can get your tickets using the link in the description below. Well, just moving on to when we started first working together. So it was you and I to begin with. So we first came across each other, not literally. Whenever Martin Lynch had asked me to write Three's a Shroud.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I had done one very small production before that, which was in the Strand Arts the year before. So this was the first big show that I would have written, and it was going into the Waterfront for a 2-week run. And Martin had sort of like ran past me, and I hadn't a fucking clue who anyone was. He was going, and I was thinking about Matthew McElhinney. And oh yeah, great choice. Yeah, fucking clue who this is. So. So we got to know each other during that first run. So Three's a Shroud was a play about two feuding Belfast Undertakers. So one Protestant, one Catholic. And they started a bit of a turf war and encroaching on each other's territory and whatever else.
And then both join up against the foreigner.
Yes. Well, this is it. So an immigrant comes along and undercuts them both. And so they join up to hate someone else instead, really. And you were obviously cast as the young apprentice undertaker in the Catholic funeral home. Yeah. And we had B.J. Hogg, the late great B.J. Hogg, who was the lead role, essentially. And then we had Sean Blaney and
Neil McGrath.
Yeah. And it went great.
I mean, that was the first time I came across you, not literally, but that was the first time working together. And what's great about that a show like that is it's high comedy, but it brought loads of young, sort of working class people into the theatre. That was
Martin's observation,
which was great because it's a new audience, because theatre tends to be slightly more. Sort of, you've got a bit of money, I guess. So to get people like that in and laughing and loving it, and then coming back as they've done subsequently to all the DLA stuff. Yeah,
it's a recurring theme with it too, because any of the venues that have ended up putting the plays in, they've all said afterwards that they've had a lot of first time bookers, new bookers, and they are predominantly from.
I mean, I've still friends who rave about that, but it was mad. I mean, the first thing I did when I walked on stage was have to wash a massive prosthetic cock.
It works in the. That wasn't even in the script.
Wasn't even in the script. It was all ad-lib.
No, for context, in the opening scene, Matthew's the apprentice, the young apprentice, and on his first day on the job, he has to go in and wash his first corpse, which obviously he's repulsed by, and he starts off by washing the face and the shoulders, and then the shroud gets whipped back, and you have this giant prosthetic dick, and it was, essentially. So this is in like the first 2-3 minutes of the show.
I was about to say I milked it for all it was worth, but that's...
Oh no, people were either rolling about the floor, pushing themselves, laughing, or absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, it was the heights of
stunned or disgusted in equal measure.
Yeah, there's one time where, for whatever reason, I don't think this happens in actual undertakers, but for whatever reason, I'm shaving the ball sack. And
with a cutthroat razor.
And a bollock come out in my hand.
It's real highbrow stuff.
But the funniest night ever, because then it gets to the point you do a run and you're all trying to make each other laugh. So I don't know if he'd be watching this or if he knows this story, but I'm under the shroud shaving away. And I went down, and they'd got a picture of Martin Lynch, who was the director, producer. They'd got a full picture of Martin Lynch and cut the nose out and put the cock through the nose. So I went down and I just saw Martin Lynch's face, this big massive cock, and all you could see the whole scene was the thing bobbing up. It looked like I was doing something to the court. You could just see it going like that.
I was wondering what was going on. I actually did see
I could
your
not
head
keep
go.
it. The guy's like, "You bastards, I can't keep this together." So yeah, that was the whole scene.
But yeah, that was the opening. That was the opening scene, and
dear.
it really set the tone.
Set the
But
tone,
it went down a
it
storm.
go down eventually?
It came back for a second run the following year on a tour on top of that as well.
Are we allowed to say that you're bringing it back?
Yes. So just this morning,
just said it
yeah.
Now you can.
Yeah, so just this morning, it's been announced that it is coming back into the waterfront in the main room on Saturday, the 12th of September. So it's announced this morning. So the pre-sale is on Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock, and then the show goes on sale Friday the 1st at 10 a.m. And on nights out at the various shows that we've done since, the majority of people, whenever they say, "Oh, we should do this again or do that again," the majority of them have said about Three's a Shroud. So it's something that's been on my mind for
Because
for a
Matt's
long
involved
time.
in it now.
And yes,
And I'm dragged.
and Matthew has also been dragged into this
They've
one.
been dragged into it, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember what Lynch did with us the last time? He had us walking through the cathedral
Corn
quarter.
Market?
Was
it not? The bandstand?
Oh,
what do you-
yes.
yeah.
I remember seeing that.
culture night, all of us dancing with a coffin.
With a coffin. I remember seeing that.
Do you remember? Like, what the hell are we doing?
I was like, I'm glad I'm not in that. And I am.
People were horrified.
I know.
Welcome to the team.
What have you got us doing, Stephen?
Much worse. Much worse. No, as I said, it goes on sale on Friday morning. At 10 o'clock. So get the credit cards out. Yeah. So just on that again. Then so the shows were fun,
Yes.
but the nights out after the shows were even more
I
fun.
remember the first time I encountered Large. There's Stephen.
Proper Large?
There's Stephen, and then there's Large.
Yeah.
It's like Jekyll and Hyde, like.
Yeah, we were walking distance to Granny Annie's, so you came out of the waterfront and you just cut through there. So literally every night after the shows, in the Granny Annie's and drank her body weight. But I think it was the opening night of the first show, and we ended up in Granny Annie's, and then after that, we ended up back in your mum and dad's house. So we're in Ian McElhinney or Mary Jones's house, and obviously at the beginning, you're trying to make a good impression. I'm just sort of finding my feet here, and you're going, right, don't do anything fucking stupid, right? Just impress them. And they said, come on back to our house, we'll have a glass of wine. And I was like, yes, sure, that sounds great. I was there about an hour. I blacked out drunk. And for whatever reason, I was barefoot in their kitchen and had stood on a wine glass. So
No, he says stood on a wine glass like it was an accident. He looked at the glass on the floor and I don't know what, just went like that. And just intentionally stood on it in his bare feet.
some sort of blocked non-Jewish mazel tov moment. I'm not
and then
sure
there was
what happened.
blood all over the kitchen
Yeah,
floor.
and they didn't have any bandages.
Why not?
I know why. Why
I didn't know
didn't
he was coming.
Oh, sorry.
why wouldn't they have prepared for such an eventuality? But anyway, so all I remember is looking down, and it was losing a substantial amount of blood. But his girlfriend just started sticking Tampax to my foot because there was no bandages. So either through blood loss or I was just so pissed, or a combination of both, I passed out. And I woke up the next morning on the sofa, but I hadn't a clue where I was. I couldn't remember where I was.
Yeah.
And I looked at my phone, 50 missed calls from my dad, who I worked with at the time, realised it was about an hour late for work. So I'm scurrying about to get my socks and my shoes, can't find the socks anywhere, and then that's whenever I glanced down and seen that I actually had about 3 or 4 fanny pads sellotaped to my foot. And so I couldn't find my shoes. Eventually got them, And then I tried to get out of the house, and the front door was one of these
Medieval.
contraptions with bolts. Yeah, I was waiting on the portcullis and the archers and the hot oil. So I couldn't get the front door open. Just completely locked. Went round to the back door, also locked, and just sat on the sofa.
Yeah, you're not getting out. That's where we go to their house. That's it.
And I went
come back.
I'm gonna have to walk up the stairs here and wake Ian McElhinney and Mary Jones up out of their sleep, and eventually built up the balls to do that, and got about 5 stairs up and looked down and just had these bloody Tampaxi feet all over their carpet, and went, fuck that, no. I went and sat in the kitchen, and then I just saw this like small window, and the top of it was open. So I'm climbing up onto their sink, blood all over. It looked like a scene from Saw, the kitchen. So I'm climbing up onto the sink and shimmying through this like letterbox-sized window and sliding down the window, blood all over that. Get out the back garden, 10-foot fence, gate locked. So I'm wheeling wheelie bins over against the fence to jump over, and then I land and I haven't a clue where I am, and I just keep walking with blood all over my shoes. And I end up in the Ravenhill Road. And the first, my phone had died at this point.
But you'd also stolen Janine's phone.
Yes, I'd lifted his girlfriend's phone by mistake.
Which you've done twice.
On
2 separate
The first time it was a mistake.
What was the second time? Intentional.
But I ended up just kept walking. I ended up in the Ravenhill Road. And the first place that was open, a funeral parlour.
Oh, that's right.
And I walk in, and the guy like looks at me dead sympathetic and comes over and holds the hands. He goes,
and you're
how may I help you? And I went, mate, could you ring me a taxi? And he was looking at me like, what the fuck? He's just looked down at my feet, the blood all over my white trainers and everything.
Got stuck in the McElhinney's house.
Or just ring me, or just get me in a coffin and send me to work, because my dad's going to fucking kill me.
Was this the first night I went drinking with you? It's probably the first time I met Stephen then,
yeah. This was the first. And then the time before that, we walked into some bar, and I think it was the Sunflower. And
he went straight up to the barman and goes, give me a pint, pube head. I went, what? Who the fuck's this guy?
Threw out.
Who is this guy? He's a writer of this place.
The first time I was in, what was it, Robinson's?
Fucking Robinson's, aye.
Robinson's.
Yeah.
What did we do? It was the very first DLA play.
Yeah.
And I'd seen, and that was the first time I had met the proper large. And what happened? There was a bouncer.
There was a bouncer.
What do you call the bouncer?
Don't you put your hands on me, you angry wee smurf. And the wee man just half Nelson out the door.
And then about 5 seconds later, he comes through the
so they threw me out the front door, and I came in the side
one. It was just like Pac-Man.
And then I think I called him a pregnant pigeon. And they literally picked me up by the trunks.
Open the door here.
I don't see the problem with that. No.
Perfectly reasonable.
He was obviously slightly self-conscious about that.
That's not the first time he's been called that.
Then another night out that we had. So it was this. I think this was during the second run. So we brought it back for the second run, and again, after the shows,
we big expectations this year when it comes back.
We were going to Granny Annie's again.
Yeah.
And whenever we're going to Granny Annie's, strangely we were barred from Ian and Mary's at this point, so I think we just had to stay there to closing. Yeah. But the night we were mangled, and then the next day I got a phone call from a caller ID unknown or whatever, and I usually don't answer them, but I answered it this time, and it was said it was the PSNI. And I went, fuck off.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. Like, I'd forgotten this story. I don't know if this is true.
It's absolutely
all right, okay.
So the PSNI rang and basically said, your bag was left in behind the bar last night in Granny Annie's. If you would like to come down to the station and claim it. I went, that's a bit of an overreaction. Somebody leaves a bag in at the bar, and the next thing the painters have it. And then I went, hold on, I didn't even have a fucking bag. So I said to them, how do you know it's mine? And they said there was a script in it with your name and mobile number on the front of it. And he says there's also a big bag of white powder in it. And I was like, oh, fuck, not again. No, I was like...
Oh, it's all over again.
I went, right.
I got
That's obviously...
PJ.
It obviously belongs to one of the cast. I'm no
Why
I'm
would
no
you
type,
assume
but
that?
I'm no type. I'm no type.
I'm not going down
Jump
for
to
this.
the conclusions.
But 10 years of McGabbery, still 10 years of McGabbery. So it says, look, that's not mine. I says, I wrote a play, the script's in the bag, that's why. But I says, I didn't bring a bag to the bar last night. So let me find out who this belongs to. So I'm in a group chat going, guys, somebody's left a bag in Granny Annie's with a big massive bag of gear in it, and they're ringing me, and I wouldn't last 5 minutes in jail with this her. So somebody may own up here. And fair enough, about 2 minutes later he joins the chat and goes, that's my bag, I'll go down and get it soon. And I'm thinking, fair play to him for fessing up. So about 2 hours later I get a phone call from the Pailers again, and they go, Mr. Large, just letting you know that Mr. McElhinney came in and claimed the bag, and it was his. And the white powder in the bag was makeup, his stage makeup. I fucking did 10.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
White powder? Do you put in your face?
I don't fuck. That's why I can't remember the
It doesn't.
story.
I don't doubt it for a minute. I've seen some strange stuff.
Talc or something, or something.
No, it was stage makeup. It was like makeup that you obviously wore whenever you were going on stage. And I'm sitting there in the house shitting myself, thinking,
how would you mistake that for a big bag of coke?
Did you have it wrapped up real tightly for some reason?
just going, I just did 10 years of McGabbery over his
Was there a
foundation.
knife cut in it?
This is the good stuff here.
A wee spoon?
Fuck knows.
Unbelievable. I did 10 years of McGabbery over your foundation.
Quite nonchalantly. I'll pick that up.
I'll pick that's not bad. No, don't worry about that. That's my makeup. My God. That's unbelievable.
So the first time I encountered you then, Forsythe, was I was invited along to see you perform in a night in November in
The Devonish.
The Devonish.
That's
Right, yeah.
Of all places.
Of all places.
You weren't.
Upstairs.
It wasn't the
I had my
UK
clothes
Pleasure
on.
Boys you were performing in.
clothes on.
It was a night in November, and at the time I had written.
First.
It was a dog DLA.
Dog
after
DLA.
it was-
First one,
So we were trying to cast Davy and Horse, and because McElhinney had done such a good job of the young rapper in Three's a Shroud and
Simple one.
the simple one.
Simple Simon.
I just said, right, he would be Horse,
He'd be Horse.
and then
I would be
you-
Davy.
Yeah,
That's a big opening up, letting everyone know. Like nobody knows that.
Yeah.
And originally I was Davy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, and I remember turning up the first day going, Davy, and I'd done all my work for Davy, and then would change it that day, and I was disappointed.
That was Tony.
I was like, what?
Yeah, Tony
Tony-
Devlin
it was Tony
directed. the
Devlin.
first
Tony Devlin,
one,
right? Yeah.
and he made that decision, and he told
You
me
couldn't picture it any other way, no?
No,
No.
absolutely not now. But at the
Yeah.
time, I was going, you have to respect this, his decision.
Yeah.
I was going, no, that's not what I think. Like,
Yeah.
But
Well, you originally thought of me and Sean because of the parts we'd played in Three's
Yes.
Sean Blaney.
and Sean turned it down, and
Yeah. He was,
went
doing
on to
something,
do.
he was doing something important.
He was. He went on
proper
to,
acting.
which went on to win countless awards.
Bouncers, was it not? Was it
Proper acting.
Bouncers or something?
I don't know.
Bouncers.
I think
I know,
it
don't
was it
care.
in the name of the song? Was it? Or-
No, it wasn't.
No.
No, it was Bouncers, I think, and Chef. Name of the son probably wasn't.
No, it was-
He was directing it at the time.
Was this a fucking chiffon scarf load of hell shite? Sean, if you're listening, I'm only joking.
So then
He's missed out.
So you were cast then as Horse, and as we said, the first DLA play that went on was a Dog DLA Afternoon, which
mental.
was basically a parody of the Al Pacino movie from the 70s, Dog Day Afternoon,
Yeah.
which was about a bank robber, true story, a bank robbery. And
It's a great film.
It's a brilliant film.
It was supposed, initially everyone thought that this was some political statement that he was making by holding up this bank, but it actually transpired that the reason he was robbing the bank was to pay for his partner's sex change, which obviously I kept in this version of the play, but people were sort of, their arse was clenching a bit at the thought of this, and I went, no, people wrote about this in fucking
Yeah, in the
70s.
70s, yeah.
It's dead on.
We
Like,
did do a bit of a take on it though. There's a couple of other arse clenching moments.
There was quite a few in that there.
Yeah.
That play went off at such a pace.
Yeah.
Didn't it? Like it was a great. It was a.
Well, it's a hostage situation. And
Yeah.
But it was full. It was full with that hair. There was some squiggy bum moments.
Yeah.
Like
so in our version of it, what happens is Davy and Horse accidentally, using the wrong intel, hold up a food bank.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a bank.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when they hold up the food bank, they realise that one of the ladies is heavily pregnant, and she goes into labour, and hilarity ensues, as they say.
Well, Davy's doing it to pay for his pre-op Thai cabaret dancers ladyboy sex change.
Yes, so
Crystal.
Yeah,
Crystal.
so Davy's on
She's a
off
Thai ladyboy.
girlfriend
Yeah.
is member of the Lady Boys of Bangkok, isn't that right?
Yeah. And then whenever it turned up, everyone turns up at the hostage situation at the end. He goes, Davy, Davy, your ma's out there. Where?
No, I say, Davy, who's that big fella standing beside your man?
No, it's just your ma's out there. Where? Stand behind the big Chinese fella. You fucker, that's Crystal. I can never keep a straight face with it. You bastard, that's Crystal.
So that was in the Opera House, in the studio, and went on a sold out run there. And then there were plans for something to migrate onto the main stage of the Opera House, and then of course the pandemic kicks in, and we all spend fucking 18 months in the house shaving our heads and baking banana bread.
Yeah.
And but during that time, apart from getting absolutely hammered out the back garden in the sun, I decided to write Lockdown DLA.
Yeah. Which is probably the best.
Oh, it is the best.
The two of them are
So
just
much
trapped.
fun.
Two of them are trapped
Yeah.
together and
So
they
much
can't
fun.
escape.
So much fun.
Yeah.
So it's really just my take on what happened in on social media and in the news and whatnot during the first 3 months of lockdown. Which
I mean, it's
It was so real,
times.
so real. When you
Yeah.
look back, we didn't do that. I mean, we bloody well did.
But it's
hazmat suits. I seen fellas wearing hazmat suits going down the shop.
But you had two camps of people which you get in the play. You had the people who were hyper
Alert,
hyper took it all so seriously. So, spray themselves going in and out, fucking masked everywhere they went. And then you had people who were just conspiracy nuts going, it's a load of bollocks, and it's really quite an interesting social experiment. And then of course
that
Davy
was
adopts one camp and Horse goes,
and then the crossover at one point.
and then the crossover at one point. Yeah.
No, I
Davy
think
starts to
that was
slowly
my
lose his
experience
fucking
of it,
mind.
though. It was I saw friends, family members on social media just split into
Yeah.
two.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And of
two
course,
camps.
everyone was on social
Yeah.
media constantly because there was fuck all else to
Yeah,
do.
there was nothing else.
And everyone's
to
watching out
do.
their window.
Yeah.
There's a party over there.
Yeah.
There's more than I can't even remember now the rules, but there's more than
More bubbles than a fucking arrow. Yeah.
But yeah, so I decided to put that time to use by writing that show, and it went into the Mac, the Mac Theatre, and then we had a week in there, isn't that right? Yeah, we had a week in there. So we had the opening night was the Wednesday, and then there was a show on the Thursday, and after the rehearsals and all of the stuff that occurs to get the show off the ground, you're pretty fucking done in.
Yeah.
And so the Friday night, I decided to leave you guys to your own devices.
Was this,
And I
noise?
was just going to relax that night, and then I was just sitting down, glass of wine, and got a phone call from the Mac to say, we've had a bit of an issue here in the theatre.
That's right. I remember hearing it.
I went, I was expecting something, some prop or something to do with that, but there was a brawl.
Hang on, the theatre called you.
It
There
did
was
not
a
have
brawl.
a bouncer on the next night, like for the subsequent nights. There was like a doorman.
Which gives you sort of an insight into what my audience is like. Whenever you have to fucking bring a bouncer into
Because we went
theatre.
off. Near the end of the first half, I could hear people talking, and then when we went off, I went into the changing room and pumped up the intercom thing, and then hear all this scuffling, and someone had pushed someone, and
I think what the venue had said was that someone was chatting, obviously blocked, was really loudly chatting over the top of the show, and whoever it was that was pissed off by this waited until the interval, turned around and said,
calm down,
shut up or something, and she kicked off, and then I think he touched her.
He touches his calm down, calm down,
and then she
he should touch me, and then
next thing there's fisticuffs,
chaos
and then the police were called in. if I can remember
That's right,
correctly.
police.
Peelers came as well.
Yeah, the
Yeah, the
came.
police were there.
I was thinking I was in the dressing room getting my spray tan.
Just checking coat.
Do you ever get
Coat number 2.
Coat number 2.
Horse, do me.
Just Vivaldi.
And so I think there was an arrest. I think there was an arrest.
He was
Come out, there's no one.
But it was delayed by a good
There was a good
40
was
40
it?
minutes.
Was it 40
and
minutes?
I was just sitting in the house thinking, we've just went through the whole lockdown. People have been locked up for the balls of 2 years.
And no one knew how to behave. Everyone
45 minutes into the first show, and they're getting locked up again.
Yeah.
But everyone had forgotten how to behave in public. They didn't have the clue.
I know.
You know.
I know there was that.
Yeah, that was
there
mad,
was that
yeah.
aspect of it too.
Yeah.
Yes, and now we're going to be bringing back Three's a Shroud, which is a show about the feuding undertakers and
Looking forward to it.
into the waterfront, and you're going to be stepping into BJ's illustrious shoes.
Uh-huh.
What do you think? Are you looking forward to it?
I'm looking forward to it. I didn't get to see it the first time around. I can't remember why not.
Probably the lack of wand.
What is this? They're carrying coffins through the town. This doesn't look up
Bit
very.
lowbrow for you.
I've something better to do that now. I've just pulled all the bits off of the corn and the cob, and now I'm going to sit and glue them all back on.
I heard good things about it, and it just.
I think
I don't get to see a lot, to be honest with you. I should see a lot more. I never get to see that much.
Yeah. And of course, any opportunity, Matt, that you get to work with me, it's just.
Well, it's a joy, isn't it? And hope I'm looking forward to being directed by someone and then being subsequently directed by you.
Yes.
On top of that,
Yes, that's it.
because you're in
And
the
you
show
don't-
and you are a director.
You don't mind that you're on low money?
I don't.
You don't mind it? Okay, good.
I don't mind that at all. I'm sure Sean Blaney, but he hasn't felt that yet. You being an actor and a director, like the
They've all felt it. They've all felt it.
the assistant director or the director.
I keep you right.
The director is the assistant director. You're the being. Yeah. What do you want to do there?
Stephen, would you go and tell them to?
Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna
that'll
a
be
good show.
great.
It's a great cast.
That'll be great.
And from what I've heard, I'm looking forward to the nights out.
Yeah, it gets.
I'm not bringing any bags with me.
Could you
Don't
just
bring
bring
any bags.
plenty of Tampax and bandages?
Yeah. Just be aware of going into pubs with a large, or your mum and dad's house.
Be interesting to
large
see
comes
Nuala come back as well.
Yeah.
Because Nuala was actually played one of my favourite characters that I've
Has she
written,
been
which was
confirmed?
Mrs. Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Just a foul-mouthed.
So she's the cleaner of
housekeeper or house cleaner.
of the funeral home, and she just gets all the best one-liners every time she comes out. Like, you know,
Brilliant.
brings the place down. So I'm looking forward to. I'm working with Sean again.
Have you updated it much?
Yeah, well, we had to, because ridiculously in the last one, whenever there was the escalating funeral wars between the Catholic and the Prod undertakers, I had to. Martin was going, you need to scheme up some wacky, funeral ideas. So I literally came up with live streaming funerals in
That's right.
2017.
Preempted.
Wow.
And then, of course, fucking ridiculously, that happens.
It's
but
not
then
a
there's a
thing.
lot of the lingo in it as well, and the technology and social media and pop culture references. It was written in 2016, so it's it was 10 years old. It needed a revamp, which it did.
But it is
over
crazy
Christmas.
because whenever you wrote that, it was genuinely funny because it was so ridiculous.
And now it's-
Live streaming a funeral.
Yeah.
The other thing that I wrote
totally
was that
normal.
they went into the funeral and put a big whack of dope in the chain sensor and swung it round. And of course, that happened too. There was.
Oh, was it?
That happened?
Yeah. There was an instance.
that.
I don't know where it was, but someone had stuck
That's bound to
weed
be
in
nice.
it and swung it round.
Sort of like The Simpsons, aren't you, Stephen?
I feel like I'm the same colour as one of the Simpsons after the heavy
The
weekend I
Donald
had there. But yeah, just sort of like a Temu shit version of the Simpsons. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Well, on top of that, we will be also working on a Christmas show.
Yes.
I'm not in that, so I'm just
You're
going
not.
to
You want to go?
leave.
You want to go? You're too
I'll
busy
be
doing
back.
something else. You're directing other
No, I
people.
can't do that. I don't want to talk about that. Just on my phone here. Let me know when you should
Go you. You've talked enough. What are you on about? This has been your show.
No, I'll politely listen.
Listen, I'll look up the ceiling. I'll watch.
Your lovely chair.
Yes, we've had to break up the dynamic duo.
Yeah.
So there's a DLA Christmas show coming to the Mac, running for the entire month of December, and we're bringing back the wonderful Joe Donnelly.
Joe Donnelly.
I've
upped the partnership.
Yep, to play your girlfriend.
Proper actor.
And
Play again, mate.
not that Matthew McElhinney's better about it at all.
No, it's fine.
We can make it work. We can
She's
work.
really-
We can work through the night.
She's great.
Yes, that's going to be good. I mean, yeah. I mean, Joe's fantastic. Joe's great. And anytime we worked with her, obviously in Vote DLA,
Yeah.
because she multi-ruled in that, and she's just one of the best in the country, isn't she? What
No,
she
she's
does,
fantastic. She's great.
you know. So
Brilliant comedy actor. Brilliant all-round actor.
All-round.
Fantastic comedy
Yeah.
actor. Really.
So I'm
really
looking
funny
forward
moments.
to seeing a different dynamic, a slightly different dynamic with this DLA show. See what you bring, because and the script is
Not written at
not
all.
written. Okay, so I can say that.
Yeah.
But Davy has to appear by video link. That's
As
my
long
one
as
stipulation.
as long as Davey doesn't want 3 weeks' pay for his for his fucking cameo,
Just a royalty.
AI version.
just a royalty.
Just a royalty. Pay me out the back end. The royalty. That'll be
Just to
fine.
pay out the back.
we will get your big in there. It would
Yes.
not be DLA without you.
We need to have. We
obviously.
need to hear his voice somewhere along the line. Don't we?
Yeah.
So this one's about it's a nativity, really. So Christmas Eve, a baby is dropped on the doorstep. And no, it hasn't been written yet because certain people kept dicking me about whether or not they were going to be in it. So couldn't actually put. I'm busy. Not pointing any fucking elbows.
I'm very busy.
So, but I'm actually looking
days.
forward to getting stuck in and writing it. To be fair. Okay, so we've plugged enough of my shit. Just talking briefly then about acting. Apart from anything that you've done with me,
Yes.
is there any role that you've agreed to do and then instantly regretted it?
That's a good question.
Fucking hell.
Instantly regretted it.
Jesus Christ.
Can I say that?
This podcast?
If you never want to work with a person again,
I don't. I'm not fear to say. I mean, did anyone see? You would have seen this probably. Three Sisters at the Lyric. Many moons.
I love the
ago.
way you
I heard-
automatically
I heard-
assume that I wouldn't have gone to see such
heard-
high
You know, I
like
haven't
this.
seen Three Sisters with
I
Chekhov.
didn't.
I heard that.
I mean, I don't care because
No, I
I never
heard-
want to work with that woman again.
I heard the horror
But
stories.
that
yeah.
director, she was
Yeah.
awful.
What was so bad about it specifically?
I mean, it was just as I said, it was just a bad work experience in general. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like I've worked in building sites for God's sake.
Yeah.
I've seen really bad stuff
Yeah.
and really people being treated really badly.
Yeah.
She was awful. The director, she was
Yeah.
just a vicious,
Yeah.
awful, horrible woman to work for.
Jesus.
And luckily, I only had a very small part,
Yeah.
but she just dicked everyone about. Like dicked the Lyric about, she dicked the casting team about, and then she called me in. Like I auditioned for like 3 different parts, and on the final part was this 8 lines, and I was in Galway at the time, and she called me back to audition for 8 lines character, and I just said okay. But I'm not going to let you know that I'm in Galway and I've travelled 12-hour round trip to do this. You know, I just
Yeah.
didn't want to give her the time of day.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I done it, and she gave me the part, but it was the worst. I wish I never got it. Like I
Yeah.
just knew then this isn't going to go down well,
Yeah.
and it wasn't.
How was the play actually received then?
No, it was
Peter?
awful.
Yeah.
It was awful. I mean, I'm not a big fan of changing the classics. Keep them as they are.
Yeah.
As close to as possible. But it was a new take on Three Sisters, localized to the area during the Troubles, and it was just the way she spoke to people.
Yeah.
It was horrible, and I was thankful I only had a small part. But like for instance' sake, we were doing this scene, And we're in this house, and there was balloons everywhere, and we had to change set, and then during some of it, all the actors had to change set, but also get into costume.
Right.
So I was changing set and moving things about, and this was only the first week or maybe second week.
Fuck, I can't wait to hear what you say about me if you had to build a set.
This is during the run. This is us just rehearsing. And no, we're just moving bits and pieces and setting the next scene up and getting in the costume. And then so obviously what you do is at the end of that there, she goes around, everyone goes, how do you get on over there? Right, okay. And how do you get on over there? Right, okay. And she came to me and says, and Matt, what happened over here? And I says, well, I was going from civvies into army, my khaki wear. And I says, I'm just not going to make this. It's just impossible to get everything on, the boots, the trousers, the top. I just said, what about just the top maybe? I mean, I might be handy. And I just went, yeah, just do that. You over there. I was like, have I just been, what?
Dismissed.
Have I missed the point here completely? But she just sort of like, yeah, that's okay. Just do that. And I was like, yes.
So I wasn't really wanting a response from you, in other words.
It was as if I asked the question. And I said, well, you just do that then. I was like, you asked me. But, I mean, the way she was speaking to people was just awful. It was a horrible experience.
I heard about it.
That was probably the only one I've had that bad of experience with, really, like.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
Oh, every job I've been on.
I think for me.
It's been perfect. It's been fun. No, I mean,
You just make it a misery for everyone else.
I think with me.
Yeah, but you're having fun, Matthew. No one else is.
I had my fun, and that's all that mattered.
I mean, acting wise, no. Most of it's been okay. I'd probably done a couple of directing things, particularly. If you're working with community is quite difficult if you do sort of pro-am stuff.
Working with people.
Well, it's difficult logistically because you're trying to deal with fucking 20 odd people. All of them have different schedules when they can and can't be there. They're not professional actors, so you're then, there's a lot goes into then getting them up to the challenge of it.
Yeah.
And saying that, I'm doing a big one this year again. But it's actually really rewarding work. But there is points when you're doing it going, fuck, I don't want. Yeah, just do that. You're just sitting there going, why have I done this to myself? But no, I thankfully, touch wood, have come. That's not even made of wood. Thankfully.
Sorry, could you get Matthew a wooden one for the next time?
We could have quickly, please.
What would
Thankfully,
you prefer, mahogany, or is there a certain type wood you like to touch?
Thankfully, I've managed to avoid decades for the most part, somehow.
Thank you.
So, what do they say? If no one in the room's the asshole, that means that you're the asshole.
Oh dear.
But yeah, no, so I've been fortunate, I guess. But yeah, there's been a couple of challenging ones just with directing and that, but yeah.
Who's that?
Well,
Not
yeah, no, not you.
Have you enjoyed your time with me? Directing me?
It's been a dream. Let's just sit there. Just you do it. Just you do it the way I told you to do it. We'll be fine. But you're very good at doing it exactly the way I tell you.
Mimicking what you just
yes,
right, okay.
I'll show you. And then you do. Yeah, he's good at it.
So what's the worst edition you've ever had?
Fuck.
Worst edition? Oh God, I'm sure there is some. Has there been?
Those group ones are always. Oh God, I have a horror story.
Yeah, I think of mine. You have.
No, it's probably not. Well, it's not a horror story. I'll just fucking tell it and then we can edit it out.
We won't.
No, this is live. There was a live stream.
This is the clip for you.
I went for an audition. I'd been at a wedding the day before and fucking.
I already know where this one's going.
Mullingar, and I fucking drove up, still fucking hanging like a bat. Drove up the road to this audition, and it was for one of those. Was it the border thing, the border patrol thing?
Oh yeah.
Soft border patrol. I wrote some. Now it was weird in that you didn't write a script.
Yeah,
you wrote ideas.
But so this is what happened. I don't think it's okay. I don't think it's all right to say. So, I'd driven up to do it, and I was So I got through the first round, so they'd obviously like me. So I went in, but they do this fucking awkward group thing. And I saw people you sort of know as actors, and then they ask you to improvise, and you're like, oh, fuck off, just write fucking lines. And do you know what I mean?
Something.
Something.
Just give me something to...
So anyway, it was someone trying to transport something across the border. And I was stopping them, and there's something in their boot, fireworks or something. And I made a joke about the Oma bombers. I was like, this is why you need to give people fucking lines.
Yes, it was their fault.
You felt the room. But I was like, you could, because it was in the news at the time, so it was obviously in my head. It was in the news, the court case. And I was like, you could be anyone, you could be your man. And then as soon as I said it, you just felt the room lose cabin pressure. And I just went, oh, fuck this. And then, and obviously I felt work about it for a while.
So,
and I could see people looking at each other going, and anyway, I bumped into another actor after, Paddy McBrearty, like a couple of weeks after, and he goes, Matty, I think that was the funniest thing I've ever seen in an audition. So I was like, maybe I got away with it.
Maybe it was as bad.
So
as soon as I said it, I went, oh, balls. I just had to keep going. Like, just keep going.
Just
digging.
Fucking digging.
But yeah, so that was probably my worst audition experience.
I have.
Because it's just so like, why would you say that?
I know, but then I know it's difficult. I had it wasn't a bad, it was just a bad experience. I had an audition for Emmerdale, and it was for a Leeds character, right? So I was told it was Leeds accent. So I said, right, I need to get this right. Okay, so I spent a lot of money and time. Got Brendan Gunn, the voice accent coach. Spent about £300 on him to get this accent down. I was like, right, okay. On the day of me travelling, there was torrential snowstorms. It was awful.
Yeah.
And got to the airport, and there was flights being cancelled all over the place. Says, we don't know if we're going to fly today. I was like, texting my phone on my agent, not going to fly today, it's not happening. Well, just keep me posted. Right, okay. And they give me a voucher, go and have a coffee, go and rest, sit down, we'll let you know. And literally I went like, thanks very much. Right, we're going now. I'm like, oh, hold on, right, okay. And I ran to the plane, and I was like, it's happening. And the snow, the blizzards, I was like, how are we taking off? Fly B at the time. And we're about to get on, and says, now, just so you know, it's going to Liverpool. I'm flying to Leeds, Bradford. No, we're not going there. So if you want to go, you have to get on now.
That's where I paid to go.
But I want to go to Leeds. You don't understand, I have an audition in Leeds. And this is at 1 o'clock, and this flight's 7 in the morning. So I said, right, I said, no, there's buses transferring you to Leeds. Right, okay. So I was like, right, okay, so we'll go. Got the Leeds, and the snow was even worse. Liverpool. And got this bus, and I'm sitting on Google Maps seeing how far, because I said to the bus driver, can I hop out when I get close to where I'm supposed to be? And so we got out, and going down the roads. I was wearing my coat. I was like a snowman walking down the road. Like, it was just covered in snow. I was like... Anyway, got into the studio, and they were lovely casting team. Like, the audition was fine, but when we sat down, and she says, right, okay, we're going to do the lines, right, okay. And I done the best shot at it in a Leeds accent. And they said, that was great, Matt, great. But you know what? He doesn't need to be from Leeds. He could be from Belfast. And I went, okay, all right, thanks for that. I went, yeah, that's cool. So I started the scene again.
Yeah.
And I was doing like a half Belfast, half Leeds accent. And I stopped halfway through. I went, sorry, I'm still in a Leeds accent. It says, and I couldn't do my own accent. So for the remainder of that audition, he was half Leeds, half Belfast. Because I was completely
like, forgot how to do your own accent.
I couldn't do my own accent. I'd practiced that hard on it. I completely lost how to do a Belfast accent. So one time I went, that's a great waste of money, that. And the odd time I've hugged a casting director. You ever done that?
I don't know.
When you're so desperate as a young actor, and you go and you're trying to remember everyone's names and all.
You would have been Harvey Weinstein's dream there.
No, someone gets up and someone gets up to shake your hand on the way out. The casting director got up, and I thought they were going for a hug. Hugging the casting director. That's me. Yep, I got that.
Very handsy. He's good. Very handsy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was bad. That was bad.
What's the worst note you've ever been given?
Say anything that I've said.
Just as from a director,
yeah,
or for anything.
Anything. Just as long as it's the worst.
The worst note. I remember being told in drama school. There was a guy called Crispin Harris who taught us, and he was very, very knowledgeable, big into his Shakespeare, classical actor. And he was giving you end of year sort of critique, no, end of term critique. So you always did like a show, and you did a play, and I think I was doing Shakespeare at the time, and he says, "Matt, brilliant." Actually, it was a full room of people. Actually, Matthew, he's giving me lovely stuff back, and he says, "Now, what are you doing about your sweat?" What? And he went off in this big tangent about, because if you're Hamlet in the RSC, we need Rain Max. It's really upset. You need to do that. And he started talking about operations. You can get your sweat glands removed. No, he started going into real deep conversations about removing your sweat glands, and then there's this stuff you can get. I was like,
he's having you on.
No, he was. I thought he was taking the piss, but he's being serious.
Like Prince Andrew.
Was he? I was going to say, was he the one that gave Prince Andrew his referral? Doing Hamlet and Pizza Express.
But yeah, he says, "What are you doing? What are you doing about your sweat?" I'm not doing anything about my sweat. What do you mean? What am I doing about my sweat? But yeah, that was yeah, it's stupid. So now I've got no sweat glands.
Fucking hell.
Take it literally. Anyone in drama school, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll get them removed. How do you do that?
He must have been having you on.
He was deadly serious. He was deadly serious. I was waiting for him to crack, and he didn't. He kept going on. No.
Would antiperspirant have been a cheaper solution?
He did he gave me a few names and examples of stuff to use and all this. I was like, he went off. You can use this here. There's this body lotion you can use. He went just forever, and everyone's looking at me going, "What sort of critique is this?"
I was see when we did Night November, I was looking at you going,
he is sweaty. Sweaty. There's another note. That's probably one of the
sweating.
That's one of the many notes I did not take. He used to give me notes the other time. Matthew loves a good couple of pages of notes just before you go on stage. Yeah. You're about to go on stage, a couple of pages of notes. I remember we were doing Running Banger, and he's going. Now, just before the show was about to go up, my mom's going, right, so this here, and he's going through his notes, are you taking them down? I was just sitting there going, yep. Do you not want a pen and paper? No.
Well, you retained them all right.
That's the annoying thing, though, because you're so like, give me notes just before the show, and then when it comes to the point where you know there's a note given to you, you fix it. Yeah. And you go, bastard, fixed it for him.
Reluctantly making the play better. Fuck's sake.
Oh dear. Oh, do you remember the time, Night November, the phone went off?
That was brilliant, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. That was class.
Yeah, we actually got that in video.
It was a video because it was the last, so basically a week before the show, the Mac. This was our last run of doing it. Yeah. Last run we did in the Mac. And it was COVID, so people were just getting back into the theatre, and the theatre was half full, but people were coming in and out, going to get drinks. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? And I spoke to your dad about, what do you do? This mess, it's really pissing me off. I was about to walk off stage at one point, and he says, no, you need to keep in character, or you need to just stop and wait, and then start. Yeah. And I was like, right, okay. And of course, I think it was one of the last nights, we got all these cameras set up to video it for producers and stuff. And I knew all these cameras here. We got started the second half, and right in the front row, this woman's phone went off. Yeah. And it wasn't just beep beep, it was diddle-ay-day, 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 hello. And then I was like looking at her going, and I was talking, and I was really getting angry. 5 seconds later, diddle-ay-day, diddle-ay-day, and again. Yeah. And then the third time, her husband's phone went off. And it was just at a point in the play. I can't remember exactly.
I think it was. Hey, Cat, I looked down at those scared soldiers in the end bush, and I looked down, and I want to say to them, and then you went,
I want to say to them, turn your fucking phone off, will you? And the whole place went on the.
That was perfect. It was perfect timing. I just want to say to them, will you turn your fucking phone off?
I get Ernie on it, but yeah, that's going off track.
Were they rigging each other?
I don't know what. But
someone was obviously looking. It was probably a babysitter or something.
But someone just said they were just saying, and someone said, turn your phone off. They were just cancelling the call each time. Anyway. Well,
before we wrap it up, guys, I just want to give you a wee bit of a platform to plug anything else that you're involved in at the minute.
Yes. So for the FLA, which the first time it's ever going to be in Belfast, it's going to be fucking huge. I don't think Belfast is going to know what's going to hit it. So the FLA, the Trad Music Festival, we're doing Blind Fiddler in the Lyric with two of the best trad musicians in the planet, the guy called Cathal Hayden and Martin O'Connor. So Cathal is like world. Actually, one of the shows Cahill can't do because he's being awarded the world's best banjo player, and he's also one of the world's best fiddle players. So we've got Cahill and Hayden in the show. Marcin O'Connor, who composes a lot of their music together, he plays the accordion. Both incredible. So there are our musos, and then we've got a cast of 6, sort of multi-role around that, and it's a drama comedy that tells the life story of this woman who is sort of disconnected from her father, and then she goes to Lockdown to try and reconnect with him, and it's that sort of and all the while accompanied by these stories of the blind fiddler, and then she finds out that maybe they weren't just stories. So it should be a fucking brilliant night out, as Jared McCabe called it, an unflagettable show.
Oh, dear.
I read that and I went, you dick. But yeah, so that's that. I'm doing a big community project after that, a professional community project called McGurk's, which is about the McGurk bombing in the New Lodge at the start of the Troubles. But that's with all those, a lot of the family members of the victims were involved in the writing of that. So that'll be a very sort of heartfelt, sort of big thing that we're doing with Green Shoot. And then Man Who Swallowed Dictionary's coming back, the David Irvine story.
Yes.
It's coming back. It's coming here, and it's going to Smock Alley in Dublin. So yeah, if anyone hasn't seen that,
Where is it going in Belfast?
I don't know the venues yet.
Right,
I
okay.
don't know the venues yet, but it is going to be here first before it goes to Dublin. And then finally, Theatre at the Mill this Christmas. Why I can't do DLA, we're doing Christmas Eve Can Kill You, which is the comedy about the taxi driver on Christmas Eve. And that's the Christmas show at Theatre at the Mill.
Yeah,
so
if we could edit that out, because no one's going to that.
Yeah, cancel that bit.
You're going DLA in the
Like a
mag.
show with me and
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, we could do a 2 for 1.
and you're getting the freebie.
But yeah, so plenty coming up. Yeah, it's going to keep me very busy, but I'm looking forward to it all.
And yourself?
Yeah, I'm just finishing up Blue Lights. So I think the end of May I'm finishing that up. So it's great. Another great series by Declan and Adam.
Well, just to let everyone know, Aidan McAllister, by the way, he's they've upped the stakes a wee bit with the character. Aidan. Yeah, you're not involved, so I don't. What is this Blue Lights all about? The comedy? Yeah, so they've really they've given a great storyline last season. And they've sort of just for those who are unaware, Matthew plays Aidan McAllister in Blue Lights, and basically you're the dodgy solicitor. And at the end of season 3, you look to get yourself into a real pickle there.
Yeah.
And I was delighted for you because you'd had such a prominent role in the series.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking as the series progressed, I was going, oh, that's him done. Where's he go from here? He's going to jail.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be in it. So obviously,
I think they protect him now because he's sort of. If anyone else has seen it, he's turned into a bit of a tout. So I think they've and because from 3 to 4 there is a.
Have you ruined this for me?
There is a period of time. Well, if you haven't watched it,
I know.
Where have you been?
I know.
Sick.
You've only had 3 years to get round it, like.
you know, hit drama, BAFTA winning drama. So yeah, from 3 to 4 there has been I think from what I can remember, like, is it a 6-month span? So he was in hiding for a wee bit, I think, you know, in that period of time because of the information he gave away. But it gave people the opportunity to see him in a different light, you know, because
he didn't really have many redeeming qualities, did he? In the first couple of, he was unlikable.
He was,
which would have been an easy role for you to play.
Yeah, an enjoyable one to play.
There wasn't much acting involved.
An enjoyable one. Yeah, just be myself. Yeah, but this they've given him the chance to say, oh, he's not as bad as what we've, you know, because people are now looking at him, go, oh, right, okay, he does have morals, and I think you even see that coming into season 4. Yeah, that's tested again, and not to give anything away, but he does. He's put into a few more sticky situations, and then we're finishing that. I'm finished in May, I think, and then during May, the whole run of May, I'm doing Tina China Cup, at the Lyric, directed by Dan Gordon, from the 2nd of May to the 30th of May by Christina Reid.
You get
Fantastic.
into trouble if you didn't mention that.
I know, the love, yeah. I had to have the dates on my phone on just in case, because I always get things I got wrong and names and all. Probably called something else. Tea in a mug. But yeah, it's a small multi-role part for me. I'm sort of the outside world looking into this little family in North Belfast it spans from the Second World War to the 72, so the start of the Troubles, and. It's a great cast. Your mum's in it, obviously.
Yeah.
Mary Jones in it. She plays the granny, and it's funny. But it's all there's a lot of heart to it as well. So it's and then obviously we've got your plays as well. So it's been a good year.
Oh, yeah, forgot I'm doing that.
You're doing that too. You didn't say that.
No, forgot.
And now I've heard that he's doing the Blind Fiddler. And there's a few multi-role characters. So who
obviously
knows?
he'll be.
Who knows? I might, take this opportunity to get it live on this recording.
Your agent said we couldn't afford you.
We'll discuss later.
Right, that's a good place to end it, guys. Thank you
Great.
so much for
Cheers,
coming
Stephen.
on,
Thank you very
especially
much,
Matthew on your day off. And you didn't look like you begrudged it at all at
Not
the
at
beginning.
all.
I mean, you've defrosted a bit now, but whenever I met you downstairs at the door,
This is all an act.
you look, you genuinely look like you wanted me to fall down them stairs. I'm not even joking. So thank you very much for
Thank you very
gracing us
much.
with your presence. Thanks again for watching, and we'll be back next month. This episode was brought to you by Ream Print Solutions.